Quite impressive and interesting is not only the appearance of these primates, but also the nature of their behavior. Their social life and behavior in general resembles human even more than you can imagine. Have a good life, neighbors! With you the paranoid truth. Get ready to find out what gorillas do and how do they get along with an immeasurable ego and quite a bit of generosity. Are you interested? Then let's go! Gorilla is quite a colorful figure in the cinematography. Many movies and cartoons have been made in his honor, which you already know about. This only once again shows that they are really entertaining creatures. Formidable, muscular and confident. Underneath the ferocious gorilla look, it's hard to see a pacifist, but they are. Eat vegetation, don't hunt anyone, and generally behave as calmly as possible. Perfect hominids, and yet, if you go a little deeper, you can find secret pockets. Gorillas live in small groups, in which the most headstrong male is in charge. The other members of the troop are the alpha male's harem and his offspring. If the female refuses to give the authoritarian male a youngster, he will kidnap him. The mother knows very well that the strong man will play the boy as a toy on supposedly legal grounds, so she covers her own child to the best of her ability. The male doesn't want to engage in direct confrontation, but tries to calculate a convenient moment for the theft. In general, the male is quite sane and intelligent, but sometimes he is so annoyed by his own kin that he starts to freak out. Seeing how the head of the family enters into a fight with a shadow, you can decide that a mental hospital is inevitable. But in fact, the leader chose a competent tactical move. In order not to start fighting with own family, he throws the accumulated negativity to the side. He bounces, kicks on the ground properly and returns to the family a phlegmatic and tactful family man. This kind of family man's humanity should be taken as an example to many people. They are one of the most caring parents among primates. Along with orangutans, they nurture and cherish their offspring for about 3 to 4 years, and sometimes even longer. But grown-up gorillas are not in a hurry to respond in gratitude. When a strengthened male goes to the free bread, he as if by tradition tries to take with him as many relatives as possible. These are the guards, and the providers of food, and babysitters for future offspring. It would be more respectable to look for helpers on your own. Gorillas don't respect sudden changes in their routine. In fact, they are terribly afraid of them. Experts have dubbed this fear neophobia. Wolves have it too, by the way. Something bright and unusual fallen on a familiar path will cause confusion in the souls of animals. Changes in the environment can drive a gorilla to panic. Loud sharp clap and spark in pitch darkness will lead to stress, and natural disaster will negatively affect health. If the male is more or less able to calm down, then in his harem there are real fights. Female gorillas are so squabbling, it's amazing. They always support each other as best they can, of course. If one has an illness, the others share the same fate. They won't even go out to dinner, but at the same time, the same ladies will lightly enter the struggle for possession of the desired fruit. They will shout, bite and argue to the point of drooling bubbles, standing over a long-suffering cabbage sprout. Adult males are up to 175 cm tall, arm span up to 260 cm, chest circumference up to 152 cm, weight 135 to 180 kg, up to 300 kg in captivity. Females are much smaller, weight 75 to 110 kg, in captivity up to 126 kg. These are the largest primates in the world, and unfortunately they are in danger of extinction. Human activity has brought these apes to the brink of extinction, depriving them of their habitats. Now gorillas live in national parks in some African countries, and many tourists come to see them, but they need to be careful. These animals are sometimes unpredictable, which is not surprising. Gorillas are able to communicate through scent. This phenomenon is called chemocommunication. It sounds beautiful, but it smells freaking bad. If one of the gorillas disappears from the field of vision of the dominant male, his body will push the sweat glands, giving an additional portion of pheromones. The female is sure to hear the scent. The longer the male doesn't see the young lady, the stronger is the release of his violet aromas. It's difficult to approach a nervous leader without a gas mask. Gorillas used to live peacefully with chimpanzees, but recently the smaller ones have been attacking the more muscular ones more often. Their clashes are so frequent that they have come to resemble a protracted war. However, the strong-looking male gorilla is frankly inferior to a group of chimpanzees. Intimidation tactics, which are effective with other forest dwellers, no longer work here. Once convinced of this, the dominant leader lowers his paws, raises the white flag and retreats. The experienced and bossy male protects the whole family. He can't live any other way. The young ladies don't worry about safety. But if it happens that the leader goes off into the sunset, a heroic fate or illness in the end, the orphaned harem and offspring will be completely helpless. And if another strong male doesn't appear in their group in the near future, an unenviable fate awaits all of them. Gorillas, by the way, have no concept of other creatures' property. Any male formed in a foreign family can easily come to a neighboring territory with the purpose of seizing it. The local leader will undoubtedly meet the intruders with all his ferocity, but it rarely comes to full-fledged battles. They shout, half-heartedly beat their chest and disperse. The real problem will come if the invader secretly steals a couple of young ladies he likes. That's when it's over. Funny enough is that the gorilla is still a narcissist who needs the often self-affirmation. Sometimes the leader behaves like the Queen Mother from the Snow White. He needs to make sure he is the strongest and smartest in the neighborhood. To do that, the alpha leader has invented a whole ritual. He will level himself up to his full height, housing himself in the chest, and then run at the high speed into the distance. He'll run through all the brushwood. Look how strong I am. Everybody got it. Then the concert is over, the curtain is down, he'll finish with a few slaps on the wood. And despite that, this primate is very even generous and kind, judging by the incidents that occurred in the zoo in Cincinnati, Ohio, USA at the end of May 2016. A boy climbed a 4.5-meter high fence, fell down to the gorillas. A male gorilla named Harambe picked him up and began to nurse him in his arms. The primate carried the baby for 10 minutes. With bated breath, visitors to the Cincinnati Zoo watched as the huge gorilla held the little boy in his arms, carried him and even played with him. As soon as zoo employees saw this, they sounded the alarm. To free the child, the zoo staff shot the gorilla. The boy received minor injuries and was hospitalized. As zoo director Fane Maynard explained, the specialists decided not to use a sedative because it doesn't work instantly. The director pointed out that the gorilla was unlikely to have intended to attack the child, but the situation was too unpredictable to act otherwise. However, the child's crying and cries, which we know can provoke a gorilla, didn't cause the Harambe gorilla to do anything horrible. Although the gorilla is supposedly considered a dangerous animal, he treated the child in a very friendly manner. In Harambe's honor, a bronze statue was erected on Wall Street in New York City, opposite the famous symbol of Wall Street, the bronze attacking bull. 10,000 bananas were placed around the bull statue, which will then be donated to local food banks. And that is all. Remember, we are not responsible for any paranoia caused by our paranoid roof. With the word the paranoid roof, see you soon, neighbors.